What's up, guys? It's your boy Green January. I am down here at Ling's Shop World Headquarters. It's my eBay store, eBay corner of my basement where I list and sell junk, mostly that I find from storage units, my collection, my personal collection, thrift stores, and garage sales. In this video, I'll go over some recent sold listings. I'll also give a quick video tour of the eBay corner here since you guys really haven't seen it. It's a little bigger than it looks on camera. So there's a new trend on eBay. People are buying stuff and then complaining about it, even though the listing description gives the most accurate description you can imagine. I sold this Panasonic camera palm quarter for $65. This is something I found in a storage unit, so I was happy to get rid of it. Storage units, they're always profitable, but the last few items are recently selling on eBay, so I'm kind of running out of stock that I had from a couple months ago. This person got it and said, hey, it doesn't actually work. When I get to such and such, it does blah, blah, blah. I made a note in the listing, and I'll show you guys exactly what it says. Panasonic palm quarter, tested, works, comes with 2 batteries, one of which is not original, blah, blah, blah. Shows signs of age in the form of scuffs, scratches, dust, marks, fading, and abrasions. While it does work, I'm unsure of the effectiveness of every feature. You should also assume the batteries don't work as well as they once did. See photos for exact condition. This person bought it and then tried to say a little small feature didn't work. I was like, hey, I made a point to say in the listing, I'm not going to sit there for an hour and test this camera, film an hour video and do all the editing stuff on it. Like, I don't know. That's why I said this in the listing. He didn't open a case or anything, but that's the start of a trend I'm noticing. My wife is always going through her closet. I sold this Kate Spade hot pink purse for $43. I found a bunch of knives in a storage unit, super profitable. I think I made like $1,100 off this one $200 unit. One recently sold for $47.50. I sold a couple Dragon Ball Z figures. They're not worth much, and I'm actually roughly breaking even on these. This Super Saiyan trunk sold for $15.25. This is overstock that I had when I opened my booth at the military base that I had to close down. I sold a bunch of blank VHS tapes for $17. I'm still making money off gutter supplies, if you guys remember me showing that in a video last year. Sold a bunch of brackets for $22. Sorry if my lighting sucks too. It's either super bright or super dark. I got one really good overhead light, but videos don't look great down here. I sold a skateboard for $15 with $35 shipping. I think I cleared about $10 off this. It was an old flipboard from 2003. Really rough condition. I sold my personal copy of Pokemon Soul Silver for the DS, Nintendo DS. This sold for $350. They've already left positive feedback. This game has gotten stupid in price. If you own this, there's really no reason to keep it. I can't foresee this getting really any higher unless you have a sealed copy. I look through my collection all the time. I look stuff up on eBay. If things are super valuable and they don't have any sort of sentimental value to them, I'm just going to sell them. Especially now, I'm saving up for a PS5, so I want to sell things from my collection and buy a PS5 with those proceeds instead of just tapping into my savings account. $350. I put it in my DS, and granted, I haven't looked at this game in years, and I was curious if I had Pokemon on that game, and that's a game that I've already taken all the Pokemon off of and transferred them to something else, so it's not like this is my Pokemon from 14 years ago that I've grown and played the game with. I sold a bundle of 10 VHS movies, and I sold a few of these. It sold for $15.50. I got more listed in my store. After shipping, I clear about $5, so I try to list it as fast as possible, get it listed within 15 minutes, and recoup that money. Sometimes you find big plastic totes of dozens of VHS tapes. Can't really throw them away, rather not give them to Goodwill. No one's gonna buy them at a garage sale. And as a matter of fact, I did have my own garage sale here 2 weeks ago. I cleared $170, but this eBay room is really thinned out now. I took all my large bulky stuff, threw it out there for rock bottom prices. Luckily, a lot of it sold, made one trip to ARC, and then put a bunch of stuff at the curb to get rid of for free. I sold this women's bra for $29. I actually had 2 of these. The second one just sold. I sold a vinyl record for $17. An Iron Man for $12.50. I'm getting rid of all of my PS2 stuff. I have no reason to keep it, especially on PS4. I have a ton of new sealed games. That's why I'm not rushing in to buy a PS5. I still have a bunch of new stuff I haven't even played yet. But I was thinking about it, there's really no reason I need to keep a PS2. If there's any awesome title that I need to play from the PS2, it's probably already been re-released, or I could just find something else to play. I listed Rogue Galaxy sold for 19, Shining Force Neo sold for 29, Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater for 14, and I just sold Link's Crossbow Training, still sealed. Got that at a garage sale with a bunch of other stuff. It sold for 11, so I cleared 460 off that. My big eBay rant for the video, I sold this stupid vintage Barbie doll. It had a 1966 body with a 1990 head, so I guess these collectors are pulling vintage parts from other dolls and just making whatever. This was a storage unit find off of a unit that I've already cleared hundreds of dollars. So rather than just throwing it away, took me 5 minutes to list, and it just sold. This person opened a case. Let me read you this description because this is super frustrating. Mattel brunette Barbie doll. Body says 1966. Head is stamped 1990. I don't know anything else about it. Shows signs of age in the form of scuffs, dust, marks. Leg has a break in it. See photos for exact condition. Then I have several photos here which even show the crack in the leg. This was listed for $18 and someone watched it. I don't accept best offers on my listings, but as people watch it, I'll decide if I want to send out a best offer to the watcher. And I sent out a best offer for 14 because it sat for months, and the guy immediately complains. Now let me read you the messages. So when I sent him that best offer of 14, he accepted it immediately, so I'm assuming he just accepted it without looking at the pictures and without reading the listing description, which is his prerogative. If he wants to do that, that's totally fine. He opens a case, says he wants to return it. Hello, I'm requesting a return and refund of all expenses incurred. The Barbie doll arrived with a cracked leg. I responded, sorry you aren't happy with the item. The doll wasn't damaged in the mail. It was sold as damaged, specifically with the crack in the leg. This was annotated in the listing details and also shown in photos within the listing. I'm attaching 2 photos to reflect this. And I'm already thinking he's going to say, oh, okay, no worries. But he responds back, actually, I don't know if this is a woman or a male, but he responds back, I did not notice the damage in the little photos with your listing. Such damage is typically noted in the listing caption to be sure the seller is aware. It feels like I was tricked. I'm not sure what he's referred to. As far as I know, that extra subtitle on eBay, that's an extra fee to use that. Granted, I could have put damaged in the title, but why would I need to put that? Because no one's going to click on it if they assume it's too broken. So that's kind of shooting myself in the foot. Yet, I do have photos of the crack, and I mention it in the listing details. You can see how stupid this is. So I responded back, it wasn't my intention to trick anyone. If you want to purchase items based solely on the title, that is certainly your prerogative, but I would think most people read the description and view the photos, which eBay allows you to enlarge and even zoom in. So he didn't respond after that, and I let the timer expire, so eBay opened their case, and then I put in one little comment. It said the item was properly described and never arrived damaged, as shown in our message conversation. And I was hoping they would go back and read through that. I'm not even sure if they did. This probably ended up on an eBay employee's Excel spreadsheet, and they just one-clicked the button. They're letting this idiot return the doll. I have to pay everything back, which is super unfair. It's kind of an error on their part because it almost makes it seem like that best offer program is not working. If people are gonna like impulse accept and impulse buy items when those offers come in and their phone alerts them, that's just going to lead to all these unnecessary returns on items where the seller doesn't even offer returns. So I'm wondering if this best offer program is going to be maybe done away with in the future. Super frustrated, super annoying, total step in the wrong direction. If you guys had something like this happen recently to you, let me know what's going on with these buyers. This is turning into the buyers have all the power, sellers have none, which is frustrating for small sellers like myself. When that thing arrives back, if it looks any different than when I sent it, this is going to be ongoing because I haven't gotten that back yet. Now, if you want, stick around for a quick walk around of this eBay corner. So the eBay corner is part of a much larger basement. This basement is the entire footprint of the home with the exception of the garage, which is essentially just a big concrete block. I have this tent down here for now. This is a truck tent that I'm about to list on Facebook Marketplace. I'm showing this literally as is. I'm not going to do any cleaning or any organizing. This is usually how it looks. I have somewhat of a gym. You can see how dimly lit the rest of the basement is. That's just some excess cabinet storage. But that overhead light definitely helps when I'm taking photos. This is some clothing that I have listed. Clothing kind of sucks selling on eBay because it just takes forever. These are some unlisted figures. I have a few things listed on Facebook Marketplace. And then most of this stuff is listed on eBay, with the exception of this cart here. Somebody in a YouTube video recently mentioned Blue Dragon as being a good JRPG. This was literally a $10 game with free shipping for years and years and years. Nobody wanted it. Got horrible reviews, but now these YouTubers are pulling it out of their collection just to make a video about it, saying it's a hidden gem or everyone should try it. And that has slowly risen the price on this. This is now like an $85 game, sealed. I have these wrapped in saran wrap, but they are factory sealed as well. Definitely selling both of those. I only got them because I was going to play it eventually and then sell the other. Never thought it'd be worth $85. Both of those definitely need to be sold now. I have a few more PS2 games. And if you're like, oh, I want to buy that, I'm going to go look at his listing. That's my eBay store right there. Lings asterisk shop. All lowercase. I have a bunch of Dragon Ball Z figures listed again. This is just overstock from my booth after closing down. And like I said, this was super jam-packed before my garage sale, and now it's really thinned out. I have this listed as well. This is still sealed. I kept it in this baggie. That's going to eventually go for top dollar. Don't really need to play Skyward Sword, and if I did, I would just get the re-release. Some of this is decorations too. Not all of it's for sale. However, that gas can is on Facebook Marketplace. Some VHS, some unlisted DVDs, which are impossible to sell. This is just some decorations. I had an idea of like a backdrop of all these vintage TVs. And I have some gun stuff down here too. My personal collection of X-Men toys. One thing I am short on is going to be outlets. So I'm pulling electricity from an outlet down here, but if I plug in too many lights, it definitely maxes out. I can have an electrician come down here and route me some fresh stuff coming from the circuit breaker. It would just cost me about $500. Always keep your boxes, guys. Even if you're not listing heavily, boxes have value. If I needed to go buy a single box from Walmart or Home Depot, God forbid, that's like $2.50, $3. I haven't paid for a box in years. If you have creepy clown dolls, or you're finding them in thrift stores, this is like a vintage with a porcelain head, or somewhat vintage dolls. You can sell these on eBay around Halloween as haunted. What you do, and this is going to sound stupid, but hear me out. You have ChatGPT write you a funny story or a spooky story, and you put it in the listing description like, oh, I found this in a storage unit, and ever since then, my lights are flickering. and my wife got sick and blah blah blah. What's happening is people are buying these, bidding them up a little bit, and then making YouTube videos about it. So if you go to YouTube and you just type in haunted doll unboxing, those videos are getting millions of views, so they're buying them off of eBay specifically to make those videos. Doesn't really mean that they believe it, it's just what they're doing with them. So I'm keeping those until like early October, and they've sold before. So that's basically it. You know, eventually this basement may be finished or partially finished, but this is how it looks for now. There's a ton of space down here. I always throw around the idea of, you know, building some actual sets down here and making either like YouTube videos or YouTube skits or some sort of content creation, because this area just has a ton of potential. Hit that thumbs up if you watched the whole video. If you want to see more videos of me rambling on, leave a comment below. I'll see you next time. Bye.